Hey friends, welcome back. It is Beth with crochetrx. I've got my sunflowers on today. Decided I needed to switch it up after wearing the red, white, and blue for most of last week there. So I had just posted the video about our yarn tour for 2026. And I went over what was in the bag to catch my stowaway on here. My little big twist keychain from Joann's. That way I know it's mine, not one of the kids' bags as we do stuff. So I just posted what was in the bag and some of the information about the 26 yarn tour for North Carolina. I then decided that I would take my Saturday and do a little bit of the Eastern Loop. There's not a whole lot of stores on the eastern side of the state. As I mentioned, the coordinator for this is in the Asheville area, as they had promoted this last year as a recovery effort after Hurricane Helene. So definitely there's stores that cluster around Raleigh, and then there's a bunch over Charlotte, Asheville area. So not a whole lot on this side. And so I put together a goofy little map of where we went here in eastern North Carolina. So that is what we did Saturday. We left about 8:30. We then went up to Rocky Mount and went to the yarn parlor. I'm terrible. I didn't film anything on Saturday. And the only pictures I took were of the low water level when we stopped at the zoo or at the aquarium for a walk break. We have been in such a drought. We are at like half of our rainfall for where we should be, and there's wildfires all over. Towns are on like level 3 of water conservation. It's bad. And it was what's usually a nice marsh outside of the aquarium was dry. Like you could see the dirt. So I didn't do any videos. Certainly if you want to see videos of the stores, I was really good about last year, and 3 out of the 4 of these are in the same video. So you could definitely take a peek if you actually wanted to see the inside of the stores. But something else this year, the coordinator did a bit of a tour of herself and stopped at a number of the yarn stores, and speaking with some of the owners, apparently they were forced into doing discounts for those of us doing the yarn tour. So most of the stores are like 10 to 15% off for people who have the yarn bag. And on the flip side, they're not doing the giveaways and drawings that they did last year. So while you can save a little bit up front, a little bit, it's not a whole lot, you don't have the potential to get these people back for return customers. So I find that sad, disheartening. We had a really good time with the giveaways and drawings because, again, there's not as many people doing it on this side of the state, and maybe it's caught on a little bit more. But we did really well last year with that, and that was fun. And then even after I won something, I went back and took a class at Yarn Tales in New Bern. And so it brought me back in. And I don't know that we're going to have that same sort of follow-up this year. So as I said, we went to Rocky Mount first, to the yarn parlor. And so, I was figuring I would do like $20 to $30 at each store. I am kind of on a kick of making some bags currently. I have been crocheting more these last couple of weeks, and I'll do another video of what I've been doing. I don't necessarily have projects in mind for these fancier yarns that are in these yarn stores. So I haven't used any of the yarn I bought last year. Now that I'm doing these little bit different things with the bags, and I did the one granny square, it may be time to revisit making a garment that I can use some of this higher quality yarn for. But I mostly just went shopping for colors because I love colors. So Yarn Parlor, this is what I picked up at the Rocky Mart Yarn Parlor. So this is Tilly by Baracco. It is a light 3, 62% Pima cotton. It is very soft, and I love the blue with the flecks of black in it. I really like that color. I do need to get a hanging thing for my wall to hang these on, because at some point I'm just going to start getting duplicates because I love my mermaid colors, I love my blue, and I'm just going to have to be careful of that. So we got to Yarn Parlor as they opened at 10 o'clock, and then I had all the time budgeted out. Some of the stores closed at 3, so I closed at 5, and then I want to make sure that we got this whole loop. We used an entire tank of gas. Our loop was, what was our total mileage? Where does it tell me on my map total mileage? Apparently it didn't add it all together for me. Oh, nope, there it is. Well, I guess the driving time, it was 6 hours. It doesn't add all the mileage up. So lots of that. So after going to Rocky Mount, we went to New Bern, and we did yarn tails there. And this is where I had gone back and taken a knitting class last year after winning the knitting needles set from them. And so as we came in, they gave us a little new baby skein of yarn. They only give it to me. If we had pushed it, they probably would have given it to the girls as well because of their yarn bags. But that was me. And then we got 2 little cakes. Pacific Prince. This color number 608 and 602. So it doesn't tell me what these are, but super pretty. Kind of a green, aqua, white-ish, not quite white. And then we've got the blues there as well. So super pretty. These are a 4 superwash merino wool and acrylic blends. And then did get a coupon for the drawing for them. So we will see if luck continues with that store. So after going to Yarn Tales, we then stopped at Panera and had lunch. And then my daughter talked me into stopping at Books A Million because it was in the same shopping center. So we stopped at Books A Million. That was not on the itinerary. We then went to Wayward Fiber, and this is a store service as well, because they will take your wool and dye it for you. So this definitely is a much different caliber than what I typically use. While this is not my primary yarn, this is definitely not anything close to what they stock. So there, the ladies are super nice. You know, they're nice. We just are very different crocheters, knitters, all of that. So this one I got, it says Tarhi Sport High Prairie Fibers. It just says 3-ply, 250 yards out of Letts, Iowa. An American breed developed in Idaho, named for the Targhee National Forest, and bred to thrive in the American high plains, long and strong, yet soft and resilient. So wool of some kind, I don't really know. But it's pretty. They did have some plain wool for like needle felting, and we definitely looked at that. But the groupings of the wool that they had put together for the needle felting was more than what I was looking to spend at any one store. Spoiler, I did break that at the last store, but we're only, we were doing good so far. So this one was $24, and then there was a little bit of a discount. So after tax, it was $23. So from there, we then drove down to the coast and went to the North Carolina Aquarium at Pine Knoll Shores, the aquarium that we would often go to down by Wilmington is closed for renovations. They're putting in a much larger tank. So I'm going to be super excited to see that, but I've got to wait like 2 years. So we were just at the aquarium a couple weeks ago, and so I wasn't sure that the girls would want to go again. I could live there, but they're like, yeah, it'll be fine. It's good to get up and walk and, break some of that driving stuff. And I think they're always secretly hoping that I will buy them a plushie at the store. We did not. So we were already, stressing the budget here. So then after the aquarium, we stopped at an ice cream store. We stopped at Kilwin's on the island there before we crossed back over. And then we went to the Salty Sheep in Swansboro. So that was our last place. And I was just at this store about a month ago because I'd had the gift certificate from last year and I kept meaning to go back, but then we kept doing other things in other places. And because, this is like an hour and a half away, it's not something I can just drop in. But I also don't just want to order yarn over the phone, not seeing it and feeling it. So I just spent my gift certificate like last month, and then I was back again. So, and she did not do a drawing this time, only the gift certificate. So, again, not necessarily, I don't know. We'll see. It's a cute little store. And maybe if I took a class with her, she might teach the knitting just a little bit differently, that it might stick as well, or stick better, make more sense to me, make more sense to my fingers. So we'll see there. But I ended up getting 4 little baby things here. So these colors were just so vibrant. All of the stickers are over these. So this little line is called Mojave, and it's a size 2, so it's a little thinner, but the colors are just so vibrant. 60% cotton, 40% linen. So I got, the kids suggested these 2 colors to go together, and then I just really liked the pink. So then talking with the shop owner, she's like, well, I'll do the blue. Because I had a different kind of mint. This is more of an aqua. The other one was maybe a bit more minty. This is seafoam. So she's like, we'll do the blue. So then I got those 2 together. So super pretty. I just love the bright colors. So again, we will see. It's much more expensive yarn than what I make for my markets, used to make for my markets, because by the time I account for the cost of the yarn, the time, all of that, it gets to be quite a lot. So these things may end up being just gifts as I get around to making stuff with them. But I do need to hang something up so I can hang these. What are they called? Hanks? Hanks up. And that way at least I can see what I have, because right now things are in the yarn bag from last year and a salty sheep bag sitting on top of my, let's see, can I scoot you over just a bit? There's my yarn bag and my salty sheep bag of my yarn. So that is what's going on now. I don't know if I will make it out again next weekend. May have to wait till the following weekend for payday again before I go be frivolous, because I've been a lot of frivolous lately. So I bought Disney Christmas party tickets, and there went the budget. So I am super excited. I've wanted to go for the last couple of years, and it hasn't worked out. And I just bit the bullet and did it. So I am super excited, and that will be fun to share in November. But right now it is still 1,000 degrees outside. We are still way behind on our rain and all of that. I do have quite a few projects to catch you up on, but right now I need to go make dinner, and so I will share with you those things I've been working on a little bit down the road. All right, you take care.